informed. You're listening to the KATcast, a weekly podcast from the staff you love to listen to each weekday on 94.3 Cat Country. Hilly and Hart and Jordan J. Now, here they are, talking about life, love, and everything mid-Missouri.
And welcome to another edition of the KATcast. Aaron Hart, Kevin Hilly, and Jordan J. Today, we're talking about, well, basically silly things we did as kids, whether it was games, toys, whatever the case may be. I have a bunch of stuff.
Jordan?
Yeah, I got some stuff too.
You were a childhood more recently than any of us.
I guess so, right?
His memory is probably a little clearer.
It's just a little better, huh? No, so something that I just always remember as like is just going up through school and stuff, and it was like it's the most ridiculous thing. And some people might remember this, some people might not. It's called The Game. Now, if anyone knows what that is, everyone just lost it.
When Jordan brought this up, Kevin and I had no idea what he was talking about.
The game, yes. Oh, this is crazy.
We were like, what are you talking about?
It's so the idea, the premise behind it's like at any given time, everyone's playing the game. And so when you know about the game and you hear someone say the game, you've lost the game. And people would draw like signs like on their binders or something. They'd be like, I lost the game, hold it up, and then you read it, and so then you lost the game.
But it's a whole mind thing.
It's a whole mind thing, right?
If you think about it,
yes.
You're out.
And you're out. So
okay.
That was something that I just remember growing up. I was like, it was so stupid.
In a way, it's similar to, remember at Christmas time, if we heard Last Christmas by Wham.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If you heard it in any form, whether it was on a store radio or in your car, you're gone. You're gone.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I won that because I didn't hear it. I didn't hear Last Christmas by Wham the entire time.
I made it to like December 20th, and I was like, I'm going to go all the way. And then, no, not so much.
Okay, I was what we call voice tracking here, and I didn't listen to the song that was ending, and the song that was ending that I was going to be talking out of was Last Christmas by Wham. And I was like,
Yeah.
So I'm out.
It was like one of your last days before going on Christmas vacation.
Yeah, it was like
okay. So the whole Whamageddon, that's not really something that we did as kids. That's just something we did this last year.
Right, exactly.
But one thing that we did, and we didn't really know what it was called, but I guess like hand clap games.
Okay,
like Miss Mary Mac,
we had
Mac, all dressed in, and we would play for hours on the playground. Like we could not wait till recess because we were going to do all those dumb hand clap games, and if they were called something else, I have no idea. But we just knew, hey, we're going to go play. We knew what that meant.
Yeah.
That we were going to do some form of those games. Do you remember those?
Aaron
Kevin?
has a great version of this that I have still not memorized. Let me see that.
That's not a hand clap.
Yeah, but it's close enough. Give me loser, whatever it is.
Okay, so at one point I worked at a daycare, like right out of high school, and the school age kids, which I think they're about fourth grade, had to teach me, I guess you'd call it like a sick burn these days. But it was
a sick burn. I like that.
But if it was somebody you didn't like on the playground, instead of just saying, I don't like you or avoiding that person, apparently you'd say, loser, double loser, as if, whatever, moron, get the picture, duh. And it's like, that was supposed to be highly insulting.
For years, I've tried to do that. I can never. Loser, whatever. It's so dumb. Or whatever. I can't think of it.
We just went around saying, liar, pants on fire, or something like that, right? Like,
yeah. But apparently that was like a big high insult on the playground, Well, I'm old now, but like 25 years ago, whenever.
My brother and I used to wrestle when we were kids, and my brother's a much bigger guy than me. He's in shape and he works out, and I'm just this skinny little middle-aged man. Okay, so and I was always kind of the run of the litter, even though I was the oldest one. So my brother and I, we'd be wrestling constantly, like and wrestling on the ground, and this was always my out. Whenever my brother would pin me, and inevitably he would. My brother has me on the ground like, and I'd be on the ground. I go, Mom! And she'd be like, Keith, let your brother go. Oh, that was how I always got out of it.
Oh, I thought you'd be like, I have to go to the bathroom.
No, he wouldn't care. He'd say, do it right there.
Call your bluff. I was going to say, my brothers and I,
now my brother and I love each other dearly.
We wrestled too. I mean, that's why both these teeth had to have root canals on them because, my brother did the whole, back of the hair thing and onto the floor, which we had hardwood floors. And as kids, you don't realize exactly what kind of damage that's going to do.
WWE, yeah.
And the baby teeth came out, and then the adult teeth came in. And I remember our dentist saying at the time, hey, she's probably going to need a root canal on those adult teeth. And didn't think anything of it. Sure enough, hit my 30s, and I need a root canal on both of them.
See, my sister, growing up, she had like this Tweety Bird, like, I don't know, toy chest kind of thing. And we took the lid of the thing off, and we, like, on our stairs, we put it on. It's like a sled. Right? And wow, was it awesome. But, it went too fast, and you'd slam it to the wall. Ooh. So there'd be many times where me and my sister would get on that thing, hit the wall or whatever. Yeah, it was fun.
We used to take cushions, like from the sofa.
Yeah.
Occasionally, even a small mattress, like a double bed. Put it on the stairs, and we would all ride it down like a giant sled. It was great.
I remember doing that, and I was like, we always did it at the top of the stairs, and I go, why didn't we do it like on the second half? That like it went into the downstairs basement. Like there was no wall. We kept like hitting into the wall.
Going.
We could have just kept going. So, we were kids,
Missed opportunities, man.
Okay. So something else I remember as a kid is we had charm necklaces.
Okay.
Do you remember these at all?
Charm necklaces,
I know we're all about 20 years apart. So they were different colored plastic chains. I think mine was blue. And then you would go to the store and you could buy little bitty charms. And I liked the more interactive ones. Like it was a soda bottle, but you flipped upside down and then it was empty. Or the little parts that moved or whatever. A baby bottle, same thing. It was full, then you turn upside down, it'd be empty. And you put these charms on your necklace. I got wrote up in the school paper for having the most.
Oh, really? Look at that.
Babysitting money came in handy.
Her early fame of Erin Hart. Look at that.
See, I remember having like the bracelets. Not like the bracelets I'm wearing now or whatever, but it's like the...
You and I talked about this.
Yeah, they're like the real
thin rubber.
Yeah.
Like the ones Madonna wore.
Yeah, kind of like those,
Yeah,
and there's like different colors.
Different colors. Some of them had like, glitter on them too, like in the rubber and stuff. And you were telling me that apparently... Y'all had some kind of game going where if they broke it meant certain things.
Yeah, I guess we
just liked bracelets.
Yeah,
we didn't have a
there's
game.
I don't know where it came from, but everyone associated the different colored bands with something different.
Really?
So,
it was a message of some kind?
It was a message of some sort. So it's like it could be something kind of scandalous. You're like, Logan broke the green one. You know what that means? You're like, what?
None of us know, but it means something.
No clue.
But every color was associated with something.
I just had rainbows basically up and down my arm because I liked all the colors. So
we're talking about stuff we did as kids and memories and everything. And I'll tell you one thing. And you guys think about this while I'm telling you, but something you did that your parents complimented you on, like that they said like they're proud of you for doing something like. I'll tell you one that I really remember. I was really into space, like the Apollo astronauts and everything.
The first frontier.
And I built these rockets in like model rockets.
Okay.
From the biggest one was like probably about this tall, maybe a little taller. And then the next one, they were all Saturn V rockets, and it was like 5 or 6 of them all built. I spent like a lot of time on gluing them, and I had them all on display in my room. And I had to keep it away from my brother because I knew he was probably going to try to knock it down. But my father, hey, this was young Kevin learning and appreciating science. Okay, my dad comes in and he looks at it. He goes, "Did you put all those together?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I am really proud of you. That is a great job, Kevin." I was like.
And then you went into radio, and he was like, "I take it all back."
Yeah.
All of it.
Mine. So I learned how, I taught myself how to rollerblade. Actually,
wow.
Didn't know how to skate at all. I remember we used to have a skating rink, and the trial run, I had my birthday party at this thing, and they bought me rollerblades. And there's an old school home video footage of this.
Yes.
I'm terrible, I'm sitting there
it's like something from 1979 or something.
Yeah. Where I'm sitting there, I'm trying to I can't skate at all. I'm running into the wall. I slam into the wall. That's why I'm stopping. And you hear on the tape, my dad, he's the one recording. He leans over to my mom. He goes, think I should take those rollerblades back. He had no faith.
He's like, was that a bad person?
Well, wait a minute. That was okay. Go ahead.
But I taught myself how to rollerblade, and my dad was proud.
Oh, good. I was waiting for that part, that your dad wasn't actually proud. I was hoping you weren't a disappointment his whole life. Okay, good.
Listen, I taught myself how to pogo stick. I taught myself how to rollerblade.
Pogo sticks were fun.
Skateboard. My mom tried to show off one time. She got on the skateboard, and we were in the garage. She slips and she just threw the skateboard. She falls on her back. Skateboard flies into the drywall, stuck in there. And she's like, she takes it out and then she tries to do it again, flings it again into the drywall. And she goes, "Don't tell your dad." And I'm like, "What do you want to blame me?"
We have a little secret here now, don't we?
Okay, hang on. Other stuff we did as a kid. Do you guys remember MASH?
Yes.
The TV show?
No.
Oh.
No. So you would take a piece of notebook paper, you would draw a square in the middle, and then MASH. The M stood for mansion, A apartment, S was shack, and H was house. And then over here, maybe you'd have people you had crushes on or whatever. And over here, what kind of car you wanted to drive. Down here, maybe what you wanted to be when you grew up and stuff.
Right.
And then you would either kind of draw a spiral in the middle or little dashes until somebody told you to stop.
Yeah.
Then you'd count them and you'd go around and you'd just kind of knock things out one by one until you're left with one thing in each category. And that was your fortune, your future.
I remember doing that. You never did MASH?
No, I've never heard of that in my life.
I remember doing that.
No.
And then there was the other one. I don't know what it was called. I guess fortune teller or whatever, where you folded the piece of paper. I never knew how to fold the piece of paper, but I had friends that were really good.
Is that
the thing that
and then you could flip things up.
Yeah,
It's
folds up. Yeah.
Pick a color, brown.
Yeah. I know about those. Yeah.
And then a number 6, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We
6.
had that too. We did a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Do you remember first time learning to ride a bike?
Yes.
Okay. I'm the oldest in my family. My brother and sister were all 13 months apart. I wasn't riding a bike, and I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years old. I wasn't riding a bike yet. My brother was already. My sister was already. And it wasn't like I had tried and fallen off a bike. So it wasn't like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I was just afraid to get on one. It just, I'm not going to be able to do that, right? So I didn't. So my sister is riding around our neighborhood one day, and she stops and I go, "Hey, all right, let me try your bike." Or I don't remember. She might have said, "Hey, do you want to try it?" And I said, "Okay, let me try your bike." And I got on it. And I rode perfectly, never fell. And I just kept riding around to the point where I wasn't giving my sister's bike back. And she's like, running up, "Give me my bike back!"
So my dad, he was a sheet metal worker. And so he was out of town a lot. And I will never forget, he had to have seen, I guess, a garage sale or something in one of the towns he was working in, and he brought back 2 bikes. One, I loved them both, but the first one, it was smaller because I was pretty little at the time, and it was purple and white, and that was my school colors.
Oh, that's
So I was
even more
that's
special.
meant to be,
Yeah.
Get it, yeah.
And then I had a big growth spurt that summer, and my legs were too long for it. So my dad was like, "Well, I'm glad I got both of them then." So that one was the same style, but the frame was rainbow. I wish I still had this bike. The frame was rainbow, had the banana seat. On the seat was a cowboy riding a horse on a rainbow.
Oh, my gosh.
And the handlebars were clear rubber, but they had the glitter inside too.
Yeah.
I loved that bike. I have no idea what happened to it. I wish I still had it. And it had pink tires.
Mid-Missouri, if you ever see this bike around, please get it to us. It may be worth some money.
Oh, my God. I don't think it's worth any money.
I don't know. It might be to Aaron.
It's pretty dinged up because I had a lot of accidents.
Do you remember,
but I loved that bike.
Before I actually knew how to ride a bike, I remember I had one of those big 3-wheelers. You know what I'm talking about? Those real low to the ground.
Yeah.
Those things.
I remember those. I
had
never
one-
had one, but I remember.
I had one, and that if I cut a right turn just right, the back wheel would pop off, and I'd skid.
Yeah, skid. Yeah. You'd drift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That was always so fun to do. Did you ever mess with a Ouija board when you were a kid?
No.
In high school, yeah.
I kind of did too.
Yeah, because at the time you're a kid, you're like, it's Barker Brothers. How bad could it be?
Yeah.
I did not deal with the occult as a child.
And the thing is,
It's a board game.
yeah, I know. That's the way I thought about it too until it got really creepy. And then you're and that's the thing too. everyone kind of in there though, like everyone kind of like didn't trust each other because you're like someone's pushing the cup around, like because like everyone like everyone like puts their hand on, I don't know, it's a cup or whatever.
You had to put like two fingers on the. It was like, I don't know, what was it, like a little triangle?
Yeah, it's a little triangle.
Then it had like a little window in it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I call it a cup, but it's like where you can like it's like almost like a magnifying glass.
I don't know what kind of cup you've been drinking.
Cup. But it's like you think one of your friends is the one like actually maneuvering it around, and you're like, stop! Don't be doing that. They're like, I'm not. So like who? It's like, but at the same time, it's very creepy stuff.
Yeah.
I've told Aaron the story, and I may have shared it on this podcast about my brother and I with our Halloween basement.
I don't know.
Whenever we used to have
Game of the Neighbor
on
kids
Halloween,
out of money.
We used to turn our basement into like a haunted house, like a scary. And you go in and all the lights are dark. It's dark, and we charge kids like $0.25 to come in, and like we had a bowl of spaghetti. It was like, feel the brains, because it's dark. You can't see anything. And my brother would be like in this little cave thing we had, and all of a sudden he would jump out at them, and I go, and it was like, so it was a haunted house, and hey, it was $0.25.
That's awesome.
Well, that's a bargain.
I'm telling you.
Little signs written in crayon.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
like, haunted house.
Yeah, 25 cents. Hey, we had kids from the neighborhood, man. Let me tell you, word was out. The Hilly house is lit.
Yeah,
it's lit, as the kids say
They
now.
weren't saying lit back then. Good grief! Look at you, scamming the neighborhood.
They get
you couldn't
haunted
even
house.
like have a nice, respectable lemonade stand. You had to hustle them out of $0.25.
I hated Halloween when I was a kid. Terrified me.
Yeah?
so much.
Really?
Just because everyone like wore those creepy costumes and they really used to go like super crazy back in the day. Like now I feel like it's light compared to what it used to be. I mean they had everything going on, and you're like, walking around looking up at mom and dad. Like, it's all right. It's just pretend. And you're like, but are you sure there's blood dripping off the knife? I don't know.
We lived at the end of a gravel road, and every year I was convinced that we were going to get a bunch of trick-or-treaters. So I would convince mom, let's buy a lot of candy. We got to be ready. Trick-or-treaters are going to come. And nobody's coming. No one's going to come and visit our house. I mean, we were on a farm, end of the gravel drive. There's no way kids are going to come.
Yeah.
So every year I was all excited to hand out candy, and nobody.
Very sad.
It is very sad. But in our defense, you had to go through 2 gates to.
Yeah, who's going to go to all that work?
I know.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna.
I'd be thinking, there's nothing back here. Like,
Yeah.
what?
But no, there was a time that we went with like our neighbors.
There
and,
might be an axe murderer back here, but that's about
and then
You go a mile this way, turn left. You're like, okay, this is getting a little too creepy.
You'd go to like the ritzy part of town, and back in the day when I was a kid, it was Shell Ridge here in Jefferson City, and like you always hear rumors, they give away the full-size candy bars and stuff,
Yes.
So we went trick-or-treating. It was nothing like that, but they did have like the far superior chocolate little fun-size candy bars.
See, there was a street like that when we were growing up the same way. You'd be like, my gosh. They're giving the full-size candy bars out, like not this little fun rinky-dink ones. You're like, I got a whole Butterfinger, You're like, yes.
Did you ever deal with bullies as a kid?
No, I was always a tall.
You weren't threatened by anybody.
I wasn't the bully.
No, but you weren't threatened by anybody.
Aaron's like, give me your lunch money.
No, I was tall, and I was a big kid. I was always a big kid. So no.
We lived for a couple of years in Connecticut, and there was a kid on the bus named Ronnie Sissia, and he was basically he would take $0.25 from me every day, and it was like, if you don't give me $0.25, I'm going to beat you up. So
That's your toll.
Did you ever take the beating instead?
But get this.
I mean, maybe after he just saw that you were just nothing but bones, he would have gotten bored and moved on to a different
One day,
him.
Kevin's there. He ties a band around his head. He's like,
All right, Ronnie. I've had it. Let's go.
It's on. So no, but every day I'd be giving him $0.25, right? So he wouldn't beat me up. All right. So one day,
Hang on. How much money did Ronnie walk away with?
I don't
mean,
know.
Are we talking like
it was
$5?
It was a significant
are we
amount
talking
of
like $46.25?
No, it was,
are we?
It was a significant amount of money, but I
Okay.
don't remember exactly. But anyway, one day I'm at the door. I answer my door, and there's Ronnie with his mother right next to him. She's holding him like this. She's going, give it back. He gives me back all the money that he had collected from me. That's a parent right there. She was setting that kid right.
Did you count it in front of them? Hang on, let me make sure it's all here, Ronnie. 25, 50, 75, $1. 25, 50, 75, $2. Anything like that?
Mrs. Cynthia, excuse me, we're missing all of February here. You know?
No, I gotta say, I don't think I don't recall being bullied too much like when I was a kid. That really.
And I
I remember being teased.
I'm
you know,
sure,
probably
yeah,
at
but
teasing
that's-
call.
Yeah,
You know,
I remember
but-
maybe being teased, but I don't like an actual bully. I don't think I actually had like that one kid that picked on me.
I was a skinny little kid who wore glasses. Okay, so I was a target for a lot of kids, and my brother was kind of my protector. Okay, so it's snowing again on the same street in Connecticut. It's snowing, and there's a bunch of kids at the end of the street, and they're saying, "Hey, come on over and play with us." And I go to my brother Keith. I go, "Hey, they want me to come play." He goes, "No, don't do that. They're gonna throw snowballs at you." No, they're not. They want to play. No, don't go over there. Sure enough, I go over there. They throw a snowball at me. They knock my glasses off.
Oh no!
And my brother has to come over and pull me out of there.
I would have played with you, little buddy.
God, I remember one time, it's completely unrelated, my dad and I were outside having a snowball fight. What he thinks is just a big mound of snow. It's a block of ice. And he comes over to me, he's like, ho, 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 and then cracks it on my back, and I collapse on the ground. And he's like, buddy.
As a parent, that would be terrified.
He felt so bad.
Oh, my God.
But no, I remember too, I don't know why this jogged my memory, but did you ever, so tag and all that stuff, but we used to play this game, but it was at nighttime. It's called Alcatraz. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's what we called it. We called it Alcatraz.
No, we played tag a lot.
So what it was it only happened at nighttime.
Okay.
So you had to you could hide in the shadows and stuff. It was almost a mixture of hide and seek and tag, to where there's one person that's it, and you have to try to go around and find people that are hiding, and when you find them, they have to get up and run away, because if you get tagged, then you become it too.
Do you have to yell Alcatraz, or where's Alcatraz coming?
Yeah, where's the Alcatraz?
I think so. I think that
or
might be
you just walk around screaming Alcatraz, Alcatraz, and hoping that your
It's like a
voice
budget
bounces off
version
somebody.
of Marco Polo.
Kind of. It's so if they've
Alcatraz.
no, you say Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it wrong.
But if they can't find you, you speak up kind of I think you say Alcatraz, and then they're like, oh, whoever's that from, But it goes to where it's down to the last person, and everyone's trying to look for him, and then the last person doesn't say anything. They're just trying to we'd find clever spots there'd be a trampoline in the backyard that's casted a shadow just perfectly, and when we would plan for, we'd wear all black, we prone in the grass. You couldn't see us.
Jordan's they've been looking for me since 2001.
Right. Haven't found me
Champion!
yet.
I'm the outcast. They still haven't found me.
Well, we're talking about things that you remember as a kid, crazy stuff that happened, or that just funny memories that you did. If you want to share with us, we'd love to get your story too.
Absolutely. You can always email us, catcountry@mailzimmer.com.
There it is.
Or you can hit us up on the Facebook page or any of that.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being along here for this latest edition of the KATcast.
You've been listening to the KATcast, your weekly dose of fun from the staff you know and love on 94.3 Cat Country. Click subscribe and never miss an episode. Share it on social media and tell your friends with 94.3 Cat Country.